Hello Capricorn, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm just going to move that a wee bit because I pushed it without meaning to. Welcome back to my channel for those of you who have been here before, and welcome to my channel for those of you who haven't been here before but have come over to find out what it's all about. My name is Colette. I am an intuitive tarot reader of over 30 years experience, and this channel is called Inspiring Life Changes. I'm here today to do a reading for Capricorns who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp, and this is a general read that I'm doing today. So it's not going to resonate with all you Capricorns out there. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. You may want to check out your other placements for your moon, your Venus, your rising. And if you don't know where those are, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and have a look for yourselves. Also, if there are any cross watchers for Capricorn out there who are interested in a Capricorn, have been in a relationship with a Capricorn, or are wanting to be in a relationship with a Capricorn, still are in a relationship with a Capricorn, then you may also want to check out your own natal chart as well, as that can give you a greater understanding of what's happening in your life astrologically as well. And I am just going to say, Capricorn, that you have had the hardest time since probably about 2008 onwards, because you have had Pluto move into your sign in 2008, and since then you've also been joined by Saturn, your home planet, the planet that rules your sign, but you've also had Jupiter there as well, and the major conjunction that happened back in January around your birthday period during January has just kind of been huge upheaval, not just for Capricorns but all across the world in general. So you have my full sympathy at this time, Capricorns, because I can really understand that there has been a lot of changes taking place within your personal and your outer world as well at this time, because you also, over the last 18 months, of course, also had the South Node move through Capricorn as well. So that will have made some big changes, big energy, big eruptions, big movement, letting go of things that you may not have wanted to let go of, but you didn't kind of have a say in the matter as well. So you could have found yourself in situations that you normally wouldn't have put yourself in, shall we say, by choice. So with all that being said, I'm going to start reading the cards. There are 3 sets of 3. The top row representing the past energy, the middle row represents your present energy, and the bottom row represents what you're going to be moving into, your future energy. So we have the past, which has created your present, and your present is creating your future, but that doesn't mean that it has to stay that way, because nothing is set in stone. And when you have some kind of insight or understanding of where you may be heading, you can choose to change that direction. So, but I will say, Capricorn, that your future has 3 major arcana cards in it. So it is big energy that you're heading into. As if there hasn't been enough of that for you already. So the 4 of air, or the 4 of swords here, is the energy that you're starting off with. And it's in reverse. And it feels to me as though this has been a long kind of waiting period here. Almost like being put on hold. Something's been kind of put on hold here. It's to do with the mind, it's to do with the thoughts, it's to do with how you how your thoughts kind of lead to your actions in many ways, your thinking processes here. It's like you had to take a really big step back and just kind of allow things to be as they have been, like just letting go in many ways, I feel, with this Four of Air. There is a sense of, kind of a sense of like, oh, you know, how much longer? How much longer is this going to continue? And you have the Justice card come out after this card, and again it's in reverse, and this is a Major Arcana card here. And so you may have felt, Capricorn, like I was saying, that you've been put into situations that weren't necessarily of your choice here. Almost like you had to kind of accept what was happening in your life. You had to accept the karmic, almost karmic retribution in a way, because Saturn in your home sign is very much about karma. He is the Lord of karma, Saturn. And as your own ruler in your own sign, he will have been activating your sun here, or any other planets that you may have within that sign as well, within the Capricorn energy here. Justice for me is the sign of, I see it as Mercury energy rather than Libra energy. I don't see it as Venus. I see it much more as the mind. I see it much more as logical thinking processes of having to kind of decide, decisions having to be made on a logical, and maybe that's also what this is about here as well. You having to really kind of carefully think things through here, take time out. But it got to a point, I feel as though there was kind of like, there was no action. You just felt like that nothing was changing in your life, or that something was very unfair maybe in your life as well. You weren't seeing the results that you wanted to see here, Capricorn. Maybe even feeling that you weren't being taken any notice of. Nobody was listening to your side of the story, perhaps. But there's a sense of imbalance, a sense of injustice, a sense of things not being fair. But I also feel that there was things going on behind the scene here with this Justice card as well. I always feel that there's something happening behind the scene that we're not necessarily aware of that process, which is why sometimes we have to kind of take that time out just to allow things to kind of settle, or even for things to progress in a way that, had we kind of put our own thought process or our own emotional attachment onto an outcome or onto a kind of decision making. It's very much about the logical mind. It's very much about the need to kind of take a back step and be like the person that is viewing it, rather than being actually involved in the situation. So it's kind of trying to be subjective about it, maybe kind of see it from another person's point of view, try and not be emotionally caught up in the drama, or caught up in whatever it is in your life that is causing this situation. Or this is in the past, so this was how you were having to deal with it, or you were being asked to deal with it. And what it brought in here is this Tower moment. And the Tower is upright. So it's kind of saying to me that after all of this, feeling that there was nothing happening and that you were having to kind of sit back and wait and not be involved in something, it's like very suddenly everything changed. Very suddenly, out of the blue kind of energy, almost kind of like something that just you weren't maybe prepared for it. The Tower is that kind of sudden realization of something as well. And it's an energy that always comes from outside, even though it may be something within ourselves, because I always see this as the structure. And Capricorn energy is very much about that building of that structure, but it's also about a need to release yourself from this structure as well. And this may well be of what's happened, Capricorn, here with this energy, is that something major has had to be released from your life. And this could be to do with this could be to do with your thought processes, how you've been thinking about something up to date, and maybe this sudden realization that you weren't necessarily on the right path with it, and that you had to rethink things through maybe, and kind of find a different way of looking at it. But it all feels like very, very kind of Saturn energy for me at this time. It's very like breaking down this structure, like this whole world is collapsing around you in many ways, and it's kind of, you're seeing it outside of yourself as well as feeling it within yourself as well. That this process is kind of a double process that's taking place here. It's kind of inner and outer, something collapsing in your own world. But at the same time, it's kind of releasing you from those restrictive processes, the restrictive thoughts that you've built up around you, the conditioning of your life, the way that you've kind of allowed other people to put thoughts onto you that you have kind of taken on board and accepted as being your own thoughts, your own processes, your own ideas maybe even. And there's this kind of realization here that actually no, that was conditioning, that was somebody else's belief system or somebody else's idea of how the world should look. This isn't my idea of how the world should look. But it can be a shocking realization, so you may well have gone through this process of feeling like your world has collapsed in that process. And where you are in your present energy, followed from the Tower energy here, we have the 9 of Water in reverse. So this is about, I feel as though this is your Tower moment in many ways, kind of coming out emotionally here, because this is about a dream or a wish or something that hasn't been fulfilled for you. The 9 of Water is this energy of wanting, happiness, wanting contentment, wanting, because it's in reverse, it's wanting rather than actually receiving. It's kind of wanting. It's this longing. Again, it kind of reminds me of this same energy here in a way, this 4 of Air. It's kind of this longing, this waiting. And maybe even with this Tower moment, it kind of made you realise that what you've wanted all this time maybe necessarily wasn't actually what you thought you wanted, and what you've been trying to achieve, or your heart's desire, actually wasn't yours. It was somebody else's dream, wish, fulfillment that you were kind of following, or helping to accomplish for them. That's kind of the energy that I'm picking up from this today, that this wasn't so much about yours. This was something to do with somebody else's. Up until that tower moment, you had kind of gone along with that idea. So we have the Page of Earth in the very centre of this reading. And the Page of Earth is upright energy here. And the Page of Earth is a young energy, it's an inquisitive energy, it's earth energy, so it's grounding. And I feel it's kind of something to do with you you realising, after this tower moment here as well, you realising that this wasn't your dream, this wasn't your, like I was saying, your hope and your desire, but this is, it's like you're wakening up to your own potential in a way. You're wakening up to that little, that young, searching, seeking, kind of, you're becoming aware of what it is that you're actually wanting here. It is earth energy, so it is the energy of Capricorn, it is the energy of Taurus and Virgo. It's earth energy, so it's grounded energy, and it's, I feel as though it's you kind of starting to ground your own wants, dreams, desires, and just kind of beginning to early stages here, because it's at the heart of the reading. I see it as being the energy that's coming in and going out of the read, so it's kind of pulling everything together and kind of the same energy permeating through everything else, shall we say. So it's kind of like the center point, the overall, it's like the most important card really in the reading itself. And that's kind of what I'm picking up for you today, is this feeling of you just beginning to become aware of what it is that you want to achieve here, what it is that you want to do with your life. Your dreams. Your aspirations and desires, and grounding them. It's kind of, I just feel it as this kind of really early kind of stirrings of kind of like, almost like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what this is about. That's what brought this in. It's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like when all of this is kind of torn down and removed from your life, this is what's being revealed here. And this is you, Capricorn. I feel very strongly this is your kind of energy, this kind of childlike, and it's coming in with the Six of Cups here, which is literally reflecting this child energy here. This kind of, and there's a, I feel as though there may be, with this card, with this realization, there may be some kind of regret here as well, that you've kind of not done this yet, that you've kind of ignored this, that this has been buried deep down within you all this time, and you've just ignored it, but it's always been there. is kind of what I'm feeling. It's always been there. It's kind of this dream. Maybe from when you were very young. But I'm just kind of feeling it as a kind of realization, this kind of just beginning to accept this side of you. And like I said, that this wasn't it. Whatever this was, it wasn't it. But it took this for you to realize that. And the energy that you're going to be moving into here is the energy of the world, but it is in reverse. So there is an ending of a cycle. There is something that is coming into alignment. There is this kind of realization. But there's also, I feel, possibly moments of anxiety, possibly moments of feeling that you are that maybe other people are going to try and make you feel as though you're wrong, or it's that what you're trying to achieve is wrong, or focusing on this is kind of a selfish thing to do, like, because I feel as though it's you having to focus on your world here. Capricorn, bringing things into alignment. And we do still have, or you do still have, Capricorn, all this energy. Like I was saying, you still have all these 3 planets that haven't moved out of your sign yet. So there may still be more of this yet to come. There may still be some kind of turmoil and upheaval and things changing and shifting in your life in a big way as well. This is big energy. And I feel that the more you kind of get comfortable with this, the more changes there are going to be here. The more upheaval. And the more upheaval there is, the more people may be questioning your choices, maybe as well. The choices that you're going to make. Because we also have the Emperor card followed here, following this world. And the Emperor energy is the very driven masculine energy here, and particularly when he's upside down. He's very like my way or the highway kind of energy. You don't argue with an Emperor. The Emperor is the, you know, it's the top of the realm that he rules over. For me, it's Leo energy, it's Sun energy. When it's upright, it's that energy of being very powerful, powerfully aware of how powerful you are. Being aware of your position, being aware of the power that you carry within and the damage that can be caused by that as well. But when it's in this position, there's much more kind of, or much less, should I say, much less understanding of how much power the Emperor carries. So it can be used in a way that's that can be overbearing or reactive or it's like over the top. It's like everything is done kind of in a very powerfully, like without kind of thinking of the consequences maybe. possibly the Justice card has got something to do with this energy here as well. Maybe you're just wanting to kind of clear things out. And the only way that you can do that is by being this energy, stepping into this energy. It may also be an authority figure in your own life or taking authority. But again, I get this feeling of authority because it's in reverse of being very maybe overbearing, like possibly abusing that power in some way. But I feel as though it's kind of quite it's almost like this part of you being released in a way. Almost like this energy finding its feet. And because it's kind of been buried for so long, it's almost like it just comes out in this very kind of eruptive, disruptive way of, I just feel like changing, of kind of clearing things out. Because the Emperor can also be very demanding of like his subjects in a way as well. So it's like, you know, if you don't conform, if you don't fit into my world, then you're out. Kind of energy that I'm feeling here. And it is powerful because these are both major arcana cards, as is this energy here. Temptation, or the devil as it's better known. So you may find yourself again, it's this Saturn energy. It's the energy that is ruled by Saturn, the devil. Capricorn energy. So I almost feel as though you're kind of coming into this position of power, of kind of finding your of kind of finding this inner strength and this inner power, but also maybe overindulging in it to the point where it's not going to be very helpful for you in the long run. So there is a warning here as well to maybe try and temper things a bit as well. The word temptation also comes from the word temper. To temper is to kind of keep things on an even keel, to hold back maybe. Because this can be excessive energy as well. It can be overindulgence, as I was saying, overindulgence, excessive energy, wanting everything, wanting it all. Well, there's also like with this heart here that's kind of been bitten off from this apple, which of course represents for me, you know, the two famous, or I suppose it's three famous apples, but there's the apple that Eve gave to Adam, and then there's the apple that the wicked queen gave to Snow White as well. And so in a way, it's kind of saying to me that be careful. be careful not to overdo it. Be careful not to maybe like burn bridges here as well. So you end up in this kind of place of regret, possibly as well, regretting your actions and what you've done, and feeling feeling that you could maybe have dealt with the situation better. But again, I'm getting this feeling of this Page of Earth here, this kind of like growing up, like from this to this, almost because this has kind of just been allowed out. It's like it wants to experience everything. It wants to overindulge. It wants to live. It wants to have fun. But that fun could lead you down a path where you're going to end up maybe surrounded by people who don't have your best at heart as well, because you've kind of driven a lot of people away here, possibly, Capricorn. Because we do also have come out with the Devil energy here and the temptation. We have this 8 of Cups or 8 of Water. And of course this is quite symbolic as well, because it appears in both of these cards here. With this one glistening, it's that kind of warning in a way, isn't it, that, you know, all that glistens isn't gold. Everything that you see, it's that temptation. It's like not everything is going to be good for you, and on some level you need to be able to discern for yourself. Because with the 8 of Water here, I feel as though you may well be kind of alienating yourself in this situation as well. Like after this period of overindulgence and over I just feel kind of living it up, just kind of almost like just this freedom, this sense of freedom and power that you've suddenly got here, Capricorn, to kind of play in your world in a way that you hadn't been able to up to that point. Almost like where am I going to put it? This sense of okay, so what I'm getting here is this kind of, this is the angel you and this is the devil you, shall we say. So it's almost like the two, like the angel and the devil here. So I think what I'm saying is kind of be careful of the path that you're going to go down here. Be careful of the choices that you make here, because this could lead you into a situation where you're kind of leaving everything behind, but also being, like I say, kind of alienated here as well, is what I'm picking up with this 8 of Water. Like I was saying, this this energy that's in Capricorn at the moment is very big energy. Okay, so we have the Sun card that's come out here. And it kind of fell over the top of this Six of Water as well. And if you look at the card, it's like there's a group of people here who are all kind of working together, playing together. But with this Six of Water card here, I feel as though you may feel as though you're not a part of this. Because if you see the way that she's kind of clutching herself here, there's this sense of, and turn that up the other way, you can literally see this face, this young girl here, which is the inner child energy, which for me today is coming out as this energy here, this inner child energy here. So what I'm sensing, because the sun is always brightness, it's always happiness, it's always a sense of joy and creativity and realization, clarity. Even when it's in reverse, it's still a good card to have. And there is, it just feels like this party energy here, this kind of enjoyment and, like I was saying, happiness. But underneath it all, I get this sense with this Six of Water here of something that's quite painful. So this may be you kind of turning, as I was saying, turning your back from this energy here, or maybe feeling that you don't fit in with this energy anymore. Something about it that's because you're not aware of it, you're not looking at it. Your focus is very much elsewhere, on something other. In this card, she's looking in the opposite direction, away from here. And we have the Three of Swords, who's just fallen over the top. I'm actually going to have to stop this at this time because there's somebody knocking on my door and I need to go and